Here's an Admiral AM 5 tube radio from probably the late 50s, you know, through maybe the mid 60s, something like that. I believe it might be early 60s, because I believe Admiral went to making things in Japan in the mid 60s. So I believe this one's a made in the USA one. So anyway, it's just a small little plastic 5 tube set. It's pretty rough. It's got a big crack in the top of it. But I got this radio for about $3 at a local thrift store. So let's turn it on and see if it blows up. Well, we got some filter capacitor on, that's for sure. I hear a signal coming in. Well, we got a signal coming in, so. And with the volume turned all the way down, we still have our hum, so that tells me we got a filter capacitor problem. Nothing unusual with these radios. It seems like every one I get is like that. Let's pull the back off of it and see what we can do with it. And here's the chassis. You know, it's a regular All-American 5 with a printed circuit board on it. And a little small speaker in there. Now, I've looked at a few date codes in here, and I'm not, you know, terrific with date codes, but it looks like it said the 6th month of 1963. So, yeah, I'll take that with a grain of salt right now. And, you know, it may be from a different year, but that's what I'm seeing right now from a date on that couplet in there. So anyway, looks like we got our filter capacitor here, which is General Industries filter capacitor. They're not very good, pretty low quality back in the day. And it looks like we got a behind that rectifier tube back there, we got a 0.047 across the line capacitor. It's gonna need to go. I'm sure that thing's probably ready to pop in any minute, so we'll get that replaced, and I'll try to see if I got some filter capacitor to go in it. And well, I found that this is the old filter capacitor here, and I found this one in a junker radio and put it in, and this is what's going on now. It's playing, but there's still some slight hum to it.
The second team quarterback in.
Still got a little bit of hum to it.
Already the magazine has lost its credibility.
Third team quarterback is
the guy from Ole Miss.
Still got a little bit of hum. I don't know if you can hear that. It's kind of a junky old capacitor. It tests mostly pretty good. I think it was reading a little low on each end, but I think it was coming back like 45 microfarad on the 50 side and 25 or so on the 30 side. So I don't know, it might be bad, but it's at least playing, you know. You tune around on it. Half of the parts in this radio are Japanese. I think that was when Admiral was starting to go to Japan.
God according to thy righteousness, and let them not rejoice.
I might just leave it like this. I don't know. I mean, I know I need to clean them controls. It's got a hum, but it's very, very slight. So I might let this one go for a while until I can order in some new capacitors. I do have the capacitors for it, but I've only got 147 left, and you know, really, it's an axle lead. I'd rather use a radial lead on this application on circuit boards. So I think I might save my caps and just leave this one in here for now. We'll call it good for now. Okay, before we replace that capacitor, I went through and checked some of the resistors, and it had this 330 ohm resistor that goes from this 12BA7 to ground. We're reading about 390 ohms, so we'll go ahead and replace it. Okay, here's our repairs. I decided to go ahead and use my last 47 ohm 160 volt electrolytic capacitor, and one with a 33 and a 47 worked just fine. Replace that 330 ohm resistor, and replace the across the line cap. The factory application was a 600 volt. So here's our old parts. Our 330 ohm resistor reading 390 ohms. Our electrolytic filter capacitor, and our 0.047 across the line cap. Let's fire it back up and see if it works. Well, it works pretty good. I'm gonna clean those controls and put it back in the cabinet. Okay, we're all put back in the cabinet. So the next thing I want to do is check the tubes. So we've already got the 12BA6 and the tube tester warmed up. Let's see how good it is. Oh yeah, it looks pretty good, about 75%. Alright, checking the 12BE6. 75%, but it's backing up. Yeah, I think I've had this happen several times today, where it was with the 12BE6 where, you know, you go to check it and it checks over and then starts backing up on you like that. So I think that one's a little weak. Might need to go ahead and just replace that one. Okay, I went in my backup tube stash and grabbed this 12BE6, and it looks good. It's about the same as the other ones. That all these other tubes are all original Admiral tubes. This set has all Admiral tubes except for the rectifier, which is an RCA. Alright, checking the 12AB6 first audio tube. Oh yeah, really strong, about 80%. And that's pretty strong on this tester because it's pretty stingy. And checking the 50C5 audio output tube. It's about 66. So that'll do for now. It's fine enough. And checking the 35W4 rectifier tube. Oh yeah, that's good. About the same, 75%. That's a replacement RCA tube. Okay, here it is all put back together playing. A little elbow grease. I cleaned up all the dirt on it. Looks pretty good. Turned out pretty good. Turned the light on for a second. I know it's going to interfere with the radio, but just to give you a look of how much better clean it looks compared to what it looked like. Turn that back off, and it works pretty good. You know, I mean, you know, it looks pretty good for, you know, I guess a polished turd. I mean, you got this huge crack in it, and you know, chip off the corner there, but you know, I mean, it's chipped here, but it works pretty good. So. The camera interfering with the radio.
When the darkness falls, all my fears have been relieved because of Jesus.
Ain't a whole lot coming in tonight. This is just off the back of set loop antenna. Seems like most of the radios I get, I don't know, for some reason around here don't do as good on the lower end of the band. There's something there, but it ain't too loud.
But it wasn't just that he didn't do those things. It was a good speech. I don't agree with all of it.
Well, okay, here's my Admiral AM5 tube radio, probably I would say from the early to mid 60s.
I'm not into him.
I did notice it don't have the civil fence markings on the knob.
Conservatives and Cruz supporters and Walker supporters and Fiorina supporters and so forth to back
So
him.
it could be
I don't
mid
understand this kind of
60s,
manifest.
not
You
sure,
know,
but
that you have to unite the Republican Party and bring in the.
I'll try to post it in
You're reaching out to
the title of the video. I'm gonna see if I can't do some digging and find out what the model number is, because on the bottom here you can't quite read it.
The speech was actually quite good. I don't have enough time to start it till after the
So
break.
anyway,
And then I want you to
here's
hear
my
something
Admiral
about Hillary
tube
Rodham.
radio from the early to mid
And then Ron
60s.
Paul, crazy Ron Paul. See, everybody hates me because I take them all on. Crazy Ron Paul. I believe in the Second Amendment, but I'm for gun control because our military is killing.